the KSW podcast. I could totally edit that in. Fuck, that was cool.
What an amazing way to start episode 4 KSW podcast. Good job, Zachary.
It's my pleasure.
Welcome to the KSW podcast, episode 4.
Classic.
And here we have Zach with us at the
on?
moment. Do you want your last name revealed or no?
I don't know if people really get my name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know, like if
No one knows your name yet.
well, people do. Look, there are people who do, and like I really like it. Like people like go out of their way to like learn my name. Like they're like they'll look at it and go like, whoa, like sort of mini explosion in their brain.
You would
And they're
never
like,
really guess.
No, and then they're like, hey, I want to know that. Like it's people who like to learn, and yeah, they just get a hold of it and they take it, and they'll just whip it out of me one day, and I'm like just chilling, and they'll be like, hey, what the fuck? They'll be like, hey, like they'll write down my name and do everything correct, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like,
What?
This is so fucking odd. Like, so they just get surprised by your name, pretty much.
Yeah, but and then they learn it, and then they like, as I said, like they'll
So you-
surprise me with like
So
how
do you
with
want
their
it
knowledge of
revealed
it.
or not?
I like the little cult following of it.
Yeah, Zach's locally famous.
That's not an
everyone.
answer. That's not the answer to the question we're asking.
All right, ask it again. Give me round 2.
Do you want your name revealed?
Your full name.
Yes.
Yes? All right.
That was way harder.
Welcome to episode 4. We're here with Zach Warish.
Yep. That's close enough.
Anyway.
It's got a V.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, what do you do?
I do.
Like, what's
What
your
do I
name?
do?
What's your name? What do you do? Where you from? Where do you hail from?
Um.
What's your second favorite
Well,
mythical creature?
What's
Yeah.
your beast mode?
Oh yes. Jesus.
Beast mode culture.
No,
Yeah.
I like. I don't know. I ride bikes, down hills, at
Yeah.
speeds and jumps.
And you're notorious for something,
Mm.
especially
Not-
around friends and stuff.
Yeah. Not as notorious as like Conor McGregor, but up there. I've met him before.
Biggie Smalls.
No, definitely not.
Do you want to tell us about what the fuck happened to your arm a few months ago?
Oh,
Arms.
so yeah, multiple. I got 2 of the
Multiple
bad
arms.
boys.
All 3.
And then, yeah, look, basically what happened was I was on the ground 1 minute. Next minute, I'm like 40 feet in the air. Minute after that, I'm getting up and my hand's like, it's just swinging.
Just fuck.
Low-hanging fruit. Just instant low-hanging fruit. And it was just, yeah, snapped it clean off. It was great.
Didn't it like snap it in multiple areas?
Oh, yeah, no. Like, I actually, like, proper, yeah, like,
Shattered
detached,
his
I
fucking bone.
detached my right hand. and
Shattered your wrist or something.
Broke.
wasn't it?
Yeah, and then shattered the top of my hand.
And the thing is, you didn't know that he'd fucked up your wrist.
No, I didn't know I fucked up my elbow. My other
Oh.
elbow. Yeah, so it was my elbow. So like I got surgery on the wrist, and then like my elbow was still sore the whole time, and I was in hospital. And they're like, oh, we should probably check this elbow out because like shit.
But that was like
Hey.
a few days after.
Oh, it was like a week. Yeah.
What the
And,
fuck?
Yeah.
It's like,
so,
oh, you've actually got a shattered elbow too.
Yeah. So then then it was like I had to get surgery for that quick, smart too. It's great.
That's fucked.
Yep.
Fuck.
So you,
It was like, yeah, it's pure trash.
and you still do it too, like
Oh,
downhill
yeah.
riding.
Yeah, well, I've been riding a bit. I haven't raced, or probably not gonna race for a while yet. But yeah, I'm still riding. It's good.
Oh yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just because
This is.
it's what I do.
It's so
just what I-
fucking
it's
dangerous.
what I do,
Like
man.
you look at any video online and just like
Oh yeah,
the fucking acceleration
Oh,
is
yeah.
just insane.
it's not it's fucking, it's pretty hardcore. It's definitely not something that's like, I don't know. It's not something that everyone sort of appeals. It doesn't really appeal to everyone.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. I'm not a big fan.
No, it's pretty. Yeah, because I've taken J-Man for a fucking spin one time.
Yeah, I was fucked.
It's rough. It's a rough go. Look, it's not, as I said, doesn't tickle everyone's fancy. But
You should
hey,
also.
look, you gave it a crack, dude, and that's fucking kudos to you. A lot of people just say no. They're like,
Thanks,
no,
dude.
I'm not doing that.
I'm on my way back home.
and you also play guitar.
Oh yeah, and I play guitar too. Yeah.
as
That's
you
right.
guys heard in the intro.
Just recreationally. on the
Yeah,
side.
recreational.
Yeah.
I'm a recreational.
Do you ever like take it around? Like,
No, dude. No,
No?
not just with friends. Usually, I don't know. I just play in front of friends. But
Yeah.
like, I don't. Yeah, I haven't really actually gone anywhere. I do want to do. I do want to do that though. Like, I definitely want to try and get a band going one time. J-Man and Lokes
Okay.
included, for sure.
hell yeah.
And if Connor,
Hey, can you
Connor,
play
if-
drums?
Yeah, and Connor, if you're fucking still keen on the piano or whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah, I still play like every now and then, but it's only like to play songs I already know.
Yeah, exactly. No, look, I think it's it comes down to just something like it's a bit of a timing thing. I mean, especially now in our lives, it's sort of hard to sort of really hone in on that if you're not really passionate about it, or it hasn't been sort of rooted into your life already.
Yeah.
You can't just sort of drop everything because I mean, you know, especially someone like you, you're at uni, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Well, you see, there are people at uni that still do music on the side.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
insane, like, and they're deep into it.
Don't
too.
don't
They're
get me
really
wrong.
good.
No, like people do it. You know, like it's not something that's not done. I'm just saying that, like, you know, it's like if you haven't done it when you're a kid, or music wasn't a really sort of, and you just sort of picked it up because your mates or something like that. It's going to be definitely more of a challenge to really like sort of hone in and try and give that a real crack. Even like, you know what I mean, if you have the passion to do that. But yeah, it really just comes to how much comes down to how much you want to do it. Like, I reckon I could probably like be heaps better of a player if I just practice heaps more. Like I just kind of don't, and I don't practice the right way. You gotta be smart the way you do
Well,
stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta like practice. You know, you gotta actually like know what would make you learn quicker and more sort of efficient. You gotta know, like, you know, yeah, just sort of learn a certain way that would help benefit you the most, and you gotta figure that out at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Would you say that you're self-taught?
Oh no, that's the thing. I got a lesson at the start.
A lesson.
No, I got. I think I did it for about like 3 weeks or something, and it was only like a day a week though. Like, and like yeah, it was just he'd come in and just give me a few chords kind of thing, and we just sort of practice them and a couple songs that you could use those chords in, and that was pretty much it. You know, it was real cheap, and yeah, it was that did boost. that did boost.
Yeah.
At the start, but yeah, no, it's cool. I would recommend anyone to play an instrument. It's like
Even on the side.
I believe that people should really just listen to music more. I don't think people listen to music enough. I don't think people appreciate music enough.
Yeah, there's people that sit on my train just for like a lot of people, most
Yeah.
people just sit there with nothing,
Yeah,
and they just
I don't think people
That'd be
realize
so,
the
it's so boring.
yeah.
yeah, like you can be doing something more efficient in that time, even if it is listening to music. Like you're gaining something from it at least.
Oh hell yeah! Well, that's the thing, and yeah, it's the little things like that in life that people sort of letting go. But yeah, that'd we won't. That's just we're getting down in some layers.
Cutting
Yeah.
some layers.
Cutting some layers. I don't know.
On the topic of music, MGK and Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Do
Did
you remember
wanna
how
talk
that whole
about
thing went down? You already explained it in the car. But
Dude,
did you figure out your
Yeah.
story? 'Cause it was sort of all over the place.
Well, I guess
it's
like
rough. Look.
more on
But-
terms of Eminem because he's notorious for destroying people's careers.
Yeah, well, like, so yeah, basically, like, you know, he raps. Oh, this is what I heard. I thought, you know, this is what I heard from multiple people. It's like, you know, he raps, something will happen and he'll get into a bit of a conflict with another rapper, you know, and that usually happens in that whole music scene and stuff. And he'll, you know, like make a diss track, quote unquote, and it's like, it's a track basically just talking shit. And then people will actually, look at like, you know, like Eminem's pretty influential, and like, I don't know, he just sort of started that whole diss track thing, and like, people actually like won't listen to whoever he's dissing,
Wow.
because he's like actually like influenced the way people, and it's kind of, I don't know if that's like
So
the full thing. I think
pretty
maybe
sure
there's
it's
more
sort
to it. As I said, I think over here in Australia, we're not getting the full sort of.
I'm pretty sure the gist of it is
We're just kind of trying to
MGK had a crack at M's daughter, something better being hot,
in a diss
and
track.
he didn't
in a
take it
diss
very
track,
well.
Yep.
But he didn't actually say anything about it until I think like his new album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
that was ages
because
ago.
because in one of his songs he then had a go
Because it
at
was in 2012.
MGK. He's
that
like
they had a thing.
so something like you go after Haley, I go after you, something like that. So he's like, oh shit, okay. So he made Rap Devil a diss track on M.
It's so
and then that's,
Yes,
that's and then that's
okay.
sort of that's
Yeah,
I
that
think that's
makes
when it
sense.
sort of spiraled into something massive, and then
Yep.
and did the one on him,
That's the boom. That's exactly.
and
what
so
happened.
that's him retaliating, and I think it's sort of
Yeah, but no, that's it's freaking. I don't know. It's pretty funny. I think people yeah, and like I don't know. It's so funny when you see people just jump on bandwagon straight away. Like and
oh
like,
yeah, it's
I don't know, and it's like and people who like that's the thing with social media though. People really pretend like they're into all these things when they're really not. Like I know people who aren't really into music and stuff, but they'll share stuff or like because it's easy to make it look like you're into something on social media. You can just share a video.
You
or
see,
you
I
can
don't know much
post
about the
photos.
lore of the rappers, but I know like the sort of movements that are going through the rapping scene.
Yeah.
Like the diss tracks, they're popping off like fucking.
Well, that's because of
a lot.
Facebook, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
social
it?
media. And
That's what I'm
shit.
saying. It's all the social media. And it's
more and more.
Look,
More
I
and more
think
people are becoming artists, I think as well.
yeah.
Yeah, like you have your little new gen baby rappers.
Yeah,
You know,
It's pretty. That's the thing, though. It's so easy to share your stuff now because of social media. So that's why everyone's giving it a crack.
yeah.
it's interesting because it's like the saying everyone's a critic,
Mm.
meaning everyone has some sort of professional like opinion on something because it's their opinion. It's almost like everyone's an artist now,
Yeah.
That's the problem with like
which is
criticism. Like you can take anyone's opinion from like a review of something, but
Do you know-
it's like they still need to be citable. Like they still need to have like some professional credit
yeah.
in that area, I reckon. And that's why I think that some reviewers are more credible than others. That's why Zach is better at talking about Eminem than I am, because he knows the fucking lore of the rapper.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, you just experience, really.
Yeah.
I just like that though, like, because how you just said then you're like people like Jeremy, where he was like people like now are artists. How everyone's a critic, and now you think everyone's an artist. That would make sense because like people want the easy option. Art's really hard to judge because it comes down to everyone's opinion. It's not really something that's governed at all. So that's why I think people are attracted to art.
The thing
In a
about,
lot of ways.
but you can recognize good and bad art though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there are things about art that can make
Right.
it bad.
I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
critically, yes. Actually, there was this guy who said like he's from he's a Dutch guy, and
Yeah.
he made this YouTube video that only like 15,000 people had seen or something like that. And he was talking about how he made his art very beautiful, and that his lecturers would say that his like it's like devoid of meaning pretty much. He just wants to draw something pretty. But he's arguing this point that he is being just as artistic because of the way he feels when he does it. But
Yeah.
I think that is worse art because it's like devoid of meaning.
Worse.
He's only doing it because it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Then
Yeah.
the art is basically the process and the flow of emotions that he went through to make it. That's the meaning behind it. The emotions he felt.
Yeah. But then, like, that's not as effective though as like, I wouldn't say like symbolic references, but like any other fucking way to portray meaning through art. Like,
Because I disagree with you. I think like regardless of the artistic process, like if it's something that you put genuine like passion or emotion into, then like
It's gonna be good.
then
in some
it can
sort
be
of way.
then it's like
Oh, but like you're talking.
comparable to any other piece of art.
Yeah.
like it looked cool. What he was making looked cool, but
I
it
get what you're
wasn't-
trying to say, Jeremy. Though, yes, 100%.
It looked cool
Like-
what he was making, but it's not the sort of art that you would see from someone like they don't use different mediums and stuff. They just use like their pencil, and that's
Yeah.
like all they do. They don't try to express through a different medium or like use that medium to show like a different emotion, like Van Gogh, for example. It's Gogh, not go, not Goth. Goth.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, mate.
I'm fucking having a go.
How's it been going?
But
That's on.
like for him, for instance, like his whole fucking painting made you feel something. Whereas if you say, "Oh, that looks cool," well, you were just saying before that there is a better and a worse art. Like there is a
Better and worse. You
like,
mean
a bad and a good. Like you can be a bad artist and you can be a good artist. Critically,
But that's
thinking.
the thing, though. Like, where do you cross the line between a good and a bad? What are you looking at? What's really defining a good and a bad artist? because it really comes down to if that person, look, you might look at a piece of art and think it's great.
I think it's
The next person comes in and thinks it's a hunk of shit.
the
in every
emotional
way.
reaction you get out of the art.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. How do you go?
You see a good movie, and you're obviously going to have a good reaction to it, and so that's what in your eyes is good
But
art.
it's good to you.
Well, because
It's only
different
good to
pieces
you,
of art
though.
are good in different
Yeah.
ways.
It's not good to everyone. It's just good to
So
you.
how would you critically?
I
say
suppose
that something is
the
better
only
then?
way you could
Like-
do it is with a poll. Yeah, it's just majority. That's why that's the way the world works now.
Well, because you
By the
can
way.
look at something like a movie or a drawing
Not now.
in like two different lights, and that's why it's hard to judge something subjectively.
yeah.
Because,
Oh no, I'm saying
because
that's a
because
factor. That's a factor.
you have criteria that are on completely opposite ends of the scale. Like you have something where, you judge a movie based on
Holy
how
shit.
well, like say the shots are composed or whatever, or the sequence of it, or the way the story is told. In that, it's told in a very well structured, in a very uniform way that everyone can understand.
Sam Raimi's
But then-
Spider-Man.
But then at the other end, it's like, but then Sam Raimi's a
whole
good
argument-
filmmaker because he can structure a really good film, but also because he's Sam Raimi, he's also like really fucking novel in the way he makes his films. Like it's real.
Dude, you were diving into some serious shit with that.
It's
before,
weird,
like,
and it's
holy
like it's full of like comedy, even though it's in like a real serious world. It's like you watch a Sam
Yeah.
Raimi movie and you go, "This is a Sam Raimi movie."
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like there's like a novelty to it. So it's more than just being well done.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was more that like novelty and stuff that like people keep coming back to it and still arguing that it's better than like the new Homecoming, which is a good movie. But yeah, like this big argument online, you see the essays everywhere nowadays. It's fucking crazy how many you can find.
I think it depends what Spider-Man you like.
Yeah, like, but that goes back to like the critical idea that everyone seems to be like bringing up, that Sam Raimi's trilogy is better than the new one. Like, I don't know. I don't know what our point was really talking about this,
Talking about,
because everything's subjective.
I think we were talking about
I think you mentioned
about how a
something
dude's
about-
art is meant to be lesser because he wasn't necessarily inspired by anything for him to make a drawing. He just wanted to make something nice.
Yeah,
Was
you see,
Like-
is that lesser art then?
Is it lesser art when you're not inspired? So I don't think so. I think if you make a good piece of art, you've made a good piece of art, because the process of you making the piece of art is what can inspire you to end up making the piece of said art. I mean,
But the thing is, this guy, when his lecturers asked him like what inspired you and stuff, he said nothing. It's just
exactly.
building
Like-
it off like what
So
he
I don't-
thought he would like to draw.
I don't think you need an inspiration. I
Which
think
is
it
what,
helps.
What art teachers will specifically say to you. They'll say, if you're in this class to draw pretty things, then you're not welcome here. You might as well go choose another. That is exactly
That's
what
fucking rough.
my
Why?
art teacher said.
Whoa,
Why?
man, who the
If
hell
you're
was
here to
that?
draw fancy cars, then get out.
Who was that?
Miss.
That's.
What up?
I don't think I agree with that.
She
That's
sounds
OPR for
very
you.
mean.
I think that's a bit of a.
Because if you don't have a journal of your inspirations and shit, and it's not like 50 fucking pages long, then you haven't done good art in her eyes.
I can sort of understand that in the same way they want you to show you're working out when you do a math equation.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to see what
Yeah.
your process was
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
that's
to
a
this
part- no, that's a
outcome.
part
So
of-
like
that's
they
a-
look at your drawing and then they look at your journal and
Yeah.
they go, I can see where that drawing came from.
But she can just tell when a student wants to draw something pretty, and that like it's completely like say they're just looking at a picture of a car and just copying it down. Really,
That's like saying someone who
pure
wants to
art,
travel
though.
because they like to see the world isn't a good excuse to see the world. It's like saying you need a reason to go to like
Yeah, yeah.
overseas. It's like
Mm.
What the fuck?
it's like no, maybe you just want to do something because like you have the ability to, or
that kind of meme.
I know.
I don't like the fact that you can constrain good art to something that can only happen in the moment. I think good art can sort of come out of nowhere.
But then time has shown us that like the most renowned artists are the ones who like pushed the boundaries and changed it up and started bringing these ideas through the way that they actually painted, like their style. And you see that as like a consistent theme across a ton of artists, that their style is actually referring back to how they feel and stuff like that.
Okay.
I suppose that's an influence, but that never is always the case.
I know, like I get
so
pissed
random,
off
dude.
myself when someone goes into the class and just wants to draw a car. It's like, why the fuck are you here? I can't explain it. I don't know what it is, but
Well, I mean, if all you want to do is to draw like a car or something,
it's just like someone.
then you
going
probably
to film
don't
school
need
and
to go
being
to
like,
an art class for it.
Huh?
I guess the problem's more of a you wanting to draw pretty things isn't art. It's more like if all you want to do is draw pretty things, then why are you even bothering coming to an art class when you could probably just teach yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just sit there and do it and just trial and error, and you just
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
But
get
that's-
good at
isn't
it
that
on
just
your
looking
own.
at art differently, pretty much.
it's
Is it-
from
is
a
it-
that's,
is it-
that's
Well, I think
Two
that's
cents of the
what
meaning of
our
art.
world calls a critical standpoint.
Also, if
yeah,
you
okay.
also the people that change things up, like the influential artists, the ones that changed it up, it's like they became influential and popular because they changed things up.
Yeah,
It's like they revolutionized the world, and that became the new norm until the next great artist came around.
yeah,
So like it's almost like saying the best pieces of art are only the first of any incarnation of a new art.
yeah.
So like
But would you say that realistically drawing a car to look pretty and stuff? I'm not going back onto that. We should move on.
well it depends on in text, subtext, and context completely matter with a piece of art.
Yeah.
So if it's just a car, then it's just a car. But if it's like
then is that lesser
just
art?
a car in the context is you really love cars because someone you knew really loved cars and the drawing is for them, and the subtext is that it's both your and that person's dream car and you always wish to own it but now you can't because that person's now dead and that's actually why you're drawing them that picture. All of a sudden,
that brings,
there's nothing
yeah,
to the text,
whole
but
new level.
through simple context and subtext, it's
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, there's actually so much more to this piece of art than there was, and all they were
Yeah.
trying to do was create something pretty.
Mental.
But you think
like-
is like you won't know that when you look at it,
No, you won't.
and that's something that
And that's what I'm saying, is that you can't just immediately say, oh, all that is something pretty. That means it's not good art. Like, I don't know, you don't have to be necessarily inspired or anything.
yeah.
You
Well,
can just- you
usually what we found is people who did draw like objects and stuff had like a spin on how they were drawn or something like that that
So how
reflected
unique
the experience. Yeah, so if someone died, it'd be like a little darker or something. Like something would happen with.
Yeah. So
There'd
the
be, like,
artist has their
squiggly
own
lines
interpretation
or-
of it.
Huh?
So the artist has their own like interpretation of it.
Yeah, I think that you should really. It should reflect onto you. That's what I've been
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah.
Like a good film will reflect onto you.
Yeah.
Oh, so what? So you're just saying that like people who draw, who are just legit just copying something,
Yeah, there are people who like. Yeah, they like cars and they'll just draw it.
they just draw like copy. Yeah,
They'll
copy
just
cars.
draw it as realistically as they can and all that shit, just because they want to replicate that obsession they have with that object, with that thing. you
Well,
know?
then I'd go back to my original point of, well, you're allowed to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just a waste of time going to an art class.
But
'Cause the things
point
they
was
teach you in
looking
an
at,
art
like
class-
critical art, like what critics would think, and it's like that would just be turned down in the art world.
But that's like
really.
that's almost like two forms of art though. That's like
Okay.
that's like the book theory part of art, and it's like and the other one's like the wishy washy, what art actually is meant to be kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
maybe I don't know what's the main meaning of art.
I think it's the difference between
when people
writing...
think of art, they don't think about books. And
I think it's the
writing, they
difference
think about-
between writing music and just fucking around on a guitar in front of your mates,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, to
It's
a
like-
certain
Yeah.
point. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like if you'll just fuck around on a guitar in
Yeah.
front of like 3 random people in your
That's
room.
art. Yeah,
It's like
what I do.
That's
Like, I
still
don't really
it's
play
like
much.
it still counts as art, but like a critic isn't gonna go, I'm gonna take that seriously.
But no. But you think about
Like,
the original artist.
You actually have to compose something,
Yeah.
and then they'll actually take whatever it is you have to say seriously.
That's how-
If you're just fucking around on a page,
That's how
or on a
any of these
guitar.
original artists built up their stuff because they were in a shithole pretty much. Like Van Gogh was in a fucking asylum
Fuck.
and painting. Like he went
Yeah,
to an
that's
insane
right.
asylum at one
No, that's
point.
because of his wife or whatever. As
He
well.
was
He
just-
he just lost his.
He was
lost
fucked
his-
up.
lost
He
his
was
marble.
fucked up.
Fuck.
And so that reflected in his art.
Yeah.
And all he did was paint because he liked doing it.
I think his story definitely helped.
Yeah. The whole what was told after he died. But
Like, yeah, I mean, like you just tell an artist's story, and it's like, oh, okay, so shit actually happened instead of just them They sat in a room and they drew something.
Whereas if Van
Like it does sound more.
if he was in
Impressive.
his asylum and he was just looking out his window at the city, and he just painted as realistically as he could, that completely changes the fucking idea. Like
Yeah.
you would not work out that he is insane and that he's like, you know, obviously there wouldn't be these beautiful fucking paintings he has now. Like,
I guess. Well, I can. No, I can.
Dude, what is that siren? Do you hit that siren?
School siren.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Um.
That's loud.
And I guess because a technical drawing, there isn't anything to unpack.
there's what?
There isn't anything to unpack. Like
Hmm.
that's why, like a drawing of a car, it's like
Yeah.
that's a drawing of a car. But like you look at a Van Gogh painting, and it's like, this is how this person sees like a cityscape.
And it
So then
says
you
a lot
can-
about
so
that
then-
mindset.
So then, yeah, based on the things you see in the painting, you can sort of extrapolate how they feel towards something or how they see the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because then that gives you perspective.
Yeah.
So you're actually learning something than just looking at a picture of a car and going,
Hmm.
that's a shittier version of something that I've seen in real life.
Yeah. I don't know.
Deep.
There
It is-
really
it is
no
interesting.
answer, like,
Message.
there really is no fucking
I could
answer.
argue for both sides all day.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, we'll never come to a definite conclusion on it.
Because no one knows.
Yeah.
Again,
It's
like
very hard to put a
like-
put it
much
in
like art,
physical
this
form.
argument lies somewhere between the objective and the subjective, and
Yes.
that's what makes it so
Indeed.
compelling.
Correct statements.
But
Should we move on to another topic?
Yes.
I think
we
so.
should.
Yeah. All right. So, food machine broke.
food machine broke.
We went out to
Oh,
get some
fuck's
food
sake.
before, and we were traveling around. We're gonna go to Macca's, all right? Well, no, we're gonna go to KFC,
Yeah.
but we stopped on Hungry Jack's first. Was it?
No.
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 We couldn't find a KFC,
Red
and all
Rooster.
of them said they were going to be open at 10. And then we found a Red Rooster, so we stopped and parked the car, and we got out.
Yep. To
And
realise that they opened at 10.
because
Also,
they were cleaning their windows and stuff, so they weren't going to open till 10 either.
So,
instant the rage level instantly just rises a little
so
bit there.
here in
Yeah.
here in Australia, there's the
well,
big
not a little
four:
bit, significant amount.
Red Rooster, KFC, Macca's, and
We sound like such
Hungry
fat.
Jack's.
Like-
All right.
We do today.
Yeah.
It's not normally like this.
No,
we
we
normally
don't
don't get
usually.
Macca's or anything.
No, we're not even that. Seriously. Oh,
I don't even know where we did it today.
no.
We should have just gone to, like...
We should have just gone to fucking.
We should have just
Woolworths,
gotten some
Woolworths.
bacon
got
and
some
eggs.
nuggets, and then fucking.
Or
that's
whatever. Yeah. Anyway.
It. Anyway,
Either way,
yeah,
whatever.
we stop at pretty much all these places, and they all open at 10. And then we're about to go to Macca's. We're walking to Macca's, and there's like a Taco Bell, a Subway. They're both closed, so it's definitely Macca's now.
Oh, no, they're way more obscure. We don't even... I think we have a Taco Bell in Australia.
Oh, not Taco Bell.
It's like Taco Burger,
or some shit.
some like Mexican burger place like Deli Burger or something, and then there was a Subway.
Yeah.
All three of them were shut.
And so Macca's was fucking. It had a few people there. No, it wasn't packed or anything.
No, it was a decent Wednesday morning.
But that was fucked. We went everywhere before Macca's just to see if it was open.
No,
If
nowhere
they
was
were
open.
None of them were open. And
Macca's is legit the only.
I felt like. Do you ever like? But like, you guys noticed the amount of cops that were there around this
Oh,
morning.
yeah.
Oh, that
Like,
was really that was
every
really
time we got on
weird.
the road, there was a cop. We walked into
Tuesday,
the
it's
Macca's. There was
Tuesday.
2 detectives walking out with like guns and all the whole crap, but they were wearing normal clothes. Yeah, and I was
There
like,
was?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another 2 when we walked out again the second time, just standing next to the car.
Oh, and when we pulled out from Red Rooster, I think it was, the cops like came in front of us, and we were following them.
Yeah, that's
Like-
right. Yeah, it's like whoa.
There's pulleys everywhere.
Yeah, and I don't what the. What the
Why are
hell?
they so active?
I don't know. I think it's because it's Logan, man. Like we're
It can't just be the area. It's not normally that bad.
No?
Right? Yeah. No.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
there's some sort of
haven't seen that many cops
meeting.
here.
Do they do meetings? Do cops do meetings?
Probably.
Like big meetings, like big board fucking.
I'd
I
mean,
feel like those would be intense if I went. You'd just be
probably,
like,
but that'd be.
I feel like you'd get briefed.
oh, you'd have to a certain point. I just didn't know, like
We know nothing about cops and their
no, the way they
what
work.
they do, so
No.
fucking. We should really just not even.
I mean, we just
comment on
thought it was weird. There was lots, but the point of the story is, it's a Tuesday morning.
There's no food.
Connor came over a little earlier than he normally does, and we were we were starving and we had a bit of extra dollars on the side. We didn't really have extra money, but we were hungry and we were lazy.
Yeah.
And all we wanted was just an easy feed that was on the cheap side, and everywhere was shut.
Yeah.
Everywhere
Look,
but
it goes
fucking
in
Macca's.
raw. It goes
Like-
in raw.
Like when I think of a place to get like fast food, like a cheeky feed, Macca's is at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Like Hungry Jack's is under Macca's, but Macca's is at the bottom of the list.
Hmm.
Like I would much rather go to like Subway or something like that, get a
Yeah.
sandwich.
That's why I say just
Sandwich.
go to Woolies, because everything you get at Macca's you can just get at fucking Woolies,
Yeah, you can.
and you can get it for cheaper
And
because you get more of it.
It'll be less processed probably as well. Probably not heaps
I don't
less.
even know what.
At least we'd know what goes into it as we cook it. We'll know exactly what we're cooking it
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
or with.
And if you buy stuff that's not, like, I don't know, a lot of Macca's stuff's like pretty much all of it's processed. Like it's rough go, but
A
whatever.
little bit.
It's bad.
But
But yeah, like
That's another branch
that's why Macca's is fucking ruling in this country right now.
ruling. Oh,
Simply through
everywhere in the
convenience. It's
world, they're
surprising.
everywhere.
it's surprising how many customers you can win over simply by being convenient with your timing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're 24 hours.
Like
I thought they would at least close at like fucking, I don't even know, like after 12 or something.
it's actually crazy that 24-hour places seem to make their money back, but yet like the periods where they normally would be closed, it like fuck all happens.
Yeah.
I swear businesses like that
But
make
it's
their
more-
money from like the extra hours on the extremes.
Yeah.
So like they may be open from like I'm guessing a lot of fast food places would close at around 11, 12 o'clock, then reopen again about 5 or 6.
Well,
No,
evidently
and
not
like-
fucking KFC
unless,
or any of that.
Unless you got well, I know the Hungry Jack's deal is so they close at about, if they're doing a full close, which is only for
This
like,
is a Plainlands though.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're doing a full close, which is in some sort of weird case, because like I mean usually they have 24 hours as well, but it's just drive through. Which
Yeah.
is the same with Macca's. I'm pretty sure it's just drive through
Yeah.
24 hours. Or no, is it? Actually no. I take
I
that
think you
back.
can
I'm
go
pretty sure
inside a
you
Macca's
can actually
24
go
hours.
inside 24 hours as well.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the whole. Anyway, with Hungry Jack's, it's just drive through. Anyway, and yeah, I think if you're doing a full close, it's about 9 that you shut.
9.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
yeah, and then someone will come in so the people doing the full close will still finish at like 9:10, and then someone will come in about 10 or 11. to
And
do
then
the
they'll
overnight.
work till the
11 till
morning.
6. Yep. Same.
That
deal.
sounds about right,
what
yeah,
we do,
actually.
So,
Well-
yeah, and like, yeah, it's kind of rough. Like, yeah, I mean, you know the deal now with that overnight shit. As I said, I did a few of them, and oof.
Yeah, it's rough, and I think that's what I mean. Like, because when I do a graveyard, I start at 11 and I finish at 6.
Mm.
And the busiest part of my shifts are probably the first hour or so, and the last hour or so. So I think it's from like 10 to about midnight, and then from about 4 to about 6 or 7. That's when it's busiest
Yep.
in a graveyard, and in between it's dead.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I think just because everything's just sitting there idling, it's like those few customers they can make, it sort of makes their money back.
Yeah.
But like it's convenient because
Because you get a couple. You get like what? I mean, I know. So I know. I remember. I think it was about the night I did. I can count about 20 on average customers you get.
yeah, I mean like I think I end up serving about almost 100 people.
Yep.
On a decent morning.
Yep.
And yeah, most of those in the last 2 hours of my
2 hours,
shift.
yeah.
But yeah, like throughout the whole night, you'll have like 1 or 2
In your
people
dead
coming
time,
in.
in your dead period, you'll have about 20. I'm guessing.
I don't even think it's that many.
No.
I think it's a little less.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Macca's wins because they just always open. Whereas somewhere like KFC or whatever, it's like you're fucked because they close at, I'm guessing like 10, 11 at night, and then they reopen 12 hours later. It's like
Yeah. They only
So
do
much
12-hour
business.
shifts.
They're gonna make way
that's
more
so much
money,
business you lose.
Yeah. I hope that Hungry Jack's fucks off eventually, and Mac is
Really?
just like, yeah, I think, because they're like down the bottom of the fucking food chain, aren't they?
Hungry Jack's.
Or Red Rooster, one of the two. I think KFC's.
Yeah. Nah, it's definitely Red Rooster below Hungry Jack's. I feel.
Yeah.
Hungry Jack's is still pretty popular, dude. Like we get. Well, I know just at my work anyway.
I think Red Rooster's still around based on
The chicken, their uniqueness.
like the novelty of it.
Yeah.
It's like KFC but better because it's like roast chicken instead of fried chicken.
Well,
Yeah.
fried chicken's pretty good.
At least with roast chicken, you can lean towards the it's healthier sort of deal.
Yeah, it's really not probably. But
Then again, you can just go to Woolworths and still get a cheaper chicken than at Hungry Jack's. And Red Rooster. And Red
Yeah.
Rooster's chickens are pretty fucking small too.
That's true.
Yeah, so this
Anyway.
isn't going too high.
stuff the
Have to.
freaking
Stuff it. Anyway, on our way back, we saw so we're in a pretty shitty place right now, Logan. And
shitty place.
there was
It's
this.
not that bad.
I
Yeah,
saw
he lives
this.
here, dude.
I got
Chill out.
surprised by this board, and it was like Gallery of Art, Logan Gallery of Art. And I'm
Oh.
like,
Yeah, the fart gallery.
yeah, it's like you just put fucking F in front of art.
Graffiti it. We're not actually going to do
Font
that.
gallery. Yeah, if it's
Graffiti.
done, that
Oh,
wasn't
God.
us.
At least not today. Will
Actually,
at least please.
can I tell a story? Story time.
Sure.
Do you have a story?
Here we
I just reminded me because graffiti. You said graffiti,
go. Yeah.
and I had this back in like 2013, grade 8. I was at Lockyer, and I had this mate, Isaac. He's a good mate of mine, actually, to this day. Jeremy, you've met him. Anyway, and there was he used to live next to this little bridge, and it was covered in graffiti, and it was really, it sounds bad. We were doing a bit of graffiti on it. It was the norm. We were normies.
Yeah.
We were normies. It wasn't weird. But yeah, anyway.
What were you graffitiing?
Hey, we were just doing there was like there's this little white section or something, I remember. And we're just, he was just doing stuff on it. He was pretty good at the time. He was a pretty good artist. And anyway, we're just sitting there graffitiing away. All of a sudden this guy walks in, this Asian fella. And we hit it. We like got the can, like stuffed it. We're like, oh no, and just pretended. And then he walks up to us. He goes, "Graffiti," and puts his thumb up and goes, "Graffiti, good."
Graffiti.
Graffiti. Oh, dude, and that stuck with me for like for ages.
It's forever.
Thanks
until
for being
today.
a good
Yeah.
citizen. Graffiti.
Graffiti, and he was happy. He did not. Hey, we were
Hey,
like, it was a
He can
positive
appreciate
response.
good art.
Yeah, you can.
He didn't go, hey, are you inspired or are you just trying to make something pretty?
Yeah,
He
hey,
just grafted. Like,
he's a surface level man.
why can't
Good
you
work.
be more like
Good
grafting?
work for doing art in the first place.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
work.
he's-
You're
dude,
expressing yourself.
He's
Like,
just happy that he can say a word that's similar to what.
maybe you
what's
should
actually
take
going
Miss
on.
Anderson's job.
Huh? Me?
No, that guy, the
Oh,
brown
that
guy.
guy. Sorry, Miss. You're old news.
Miss
Just
Sanderson.
you're old. We're getting a brown guy to teach art now.
Yeah, you're old. You're only 20 something, but you're old. Get out.
Wait, is she 20?
I think she's like early 30s or late 20s. Surprisingly.
Really?
Surprisingly, is she
I'm
gonna
leaving out the name.
Is she gonna listen to this and get really fucking offended?
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably. Yeah, it's a bleep. Hey, no one has to know about who it actually is if you just believe it every time.
That's such a pain in the ass.
It is a little
So you have to
bit.
find it.
Yeah,
you have to lower the
we didn't
volume. You
we
have to
haven't
have
said
the
it that much,
bleep. You have
just-
to
We just don't have to say it again.
Yeah, exactly.
say what again?
Eat ass.
Eat-
I want a sleeve tattoo.
Real vegans eat ass.
I'm just going to say I want a sleeve tattoo.
A
Sleeve
sleeve
tattoo.
tattoo.
Eventually.
love-
So
I'd
what,
love
is that like
sleeves.
tattooing like just a normal sleeve on you, like a shirt sleeve?
You're a
Whole
fucking
arm,
idiot.
pretty
You're a
much.
fucking idiot. I would love sleeves as well. Sleeves look fucking cool.
They're just expensive as fuck. You probably
Yeah,
want to
they
get
are.
it done section by section.
Dude.
Well, yeah, I
look,
mean,
hey,
sleeves are like a
tat-
car. It's a-
tattooing actually pisses me off sometimes with people with our generation too. Like with
oh,
other
they just get a tattoo.
Look,
Yeah.
I think tattooing's
Fuck.
it's not. It's sort of gone the wrong way when it comes to people's view on it and what
just take
they
it to William Nilliam.
hey. They just look. I think
You'll
it's
hit
they're
18.
they're
Just do it
permanent.
for the
Look,
sake of getting a tattoo.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know what that last.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
were there,
we were watching
it.
the Joe
We
Rogan
were watching it
podcast.
yesterday, right? And he was saying that he
I
said
know
he'll
who
never
he
get
is.
tattoos because his brain will always override and tell him that there's a chance that it's almost certain that he's gonna have a better
Thought.
or he's never gonna
Nice.
yeah he's never gonna this guy just farted.
You're gonna keep talking.
Yes, I am.
Pay attention, dude. Let's go.
Anyway, he's never gonna
Not to the smell.
he's never gonna come to a conclusion
noise
into what he
so good.
actually wants though, because he's always gonna realize that he wants something better, or there's something that'll he'll
Well,
enjoy more.
Wasn't it one of his exact words is that he's never had a thought that he's like that was so significant that he wanted to etch it permanently on his body.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's like
you know what's going on. Yeah, that's
it's like it makes sense. Like it has to be something
you don't
significant.
Have to take that literally, but you can take that. You have to account that a little bit because it's so true, isn't it? And these people
Because
people
it
aren't really
is. You
accounting
get a
that at all.
tattoo. It's on your body until
That's
you
what I'm saying.
die.
People aren't really thinking.
I'm
like,
annoyed
they're
by
getting
people who fucking just get tattoos that are meaningless. Like,
that's kind of what I'm going at as
Yeah.
well. Like I'm saying, like people are just getting the first thing or like things that look cool.
Or as soon as they
aesthetically.
can get a tattoo, they're like,
That's what I'm
I can
saying.
do
you know
it.
that
Let's
person
do
who
it.
got Mr. Burns on them?
No.
No, you never.
Nope.
No. Okay, there's someone who went to our school who got a fucking Mr. Burns tattoo.
Wow.
Why would you get Mr. Burns tattooed on your body?
Yeah,
Mr.
that
is now
person-
burnt into your skin,
Fuckhead.
pretty much.
No. Yeah.
Why? Why the fuck?
Look, is
like,
it big?
It's like that big.
So it's like a decent
it's like
size
it's
on
like
the
a hand
forearm.
size tattoo,
Not so much a hand, almost a hand though.
like a half a hand, like long ways.
So a good
Yeah,
chunk of your forearm, like a good like half.
I'm
your
pretty sure
forearm.
it's a pretty big
Whoa.
tattoo.
Yeah.
Like, not,
I mean,
not
you know
like
what? Look,
small,
hey,
but-
hey, it only really means something to the people who have it. Like you can't say that something doesn't mean something to someone because you don't know, do you? You can't read their mind. You don't.
I mean,
you
it
can't
looked
tell.
cool. It's like a.
It looked cool. Look, we all know. We can assume that that's not the case. We can assume that they're just getting it because they think it looks cool, but we don't know that it doesn't mean anything to them, right?
Mm.
So I mean, all I'm saying is that I'm just making
Deep connection to The Simpsons.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I really want to get to like I want to get a tattoo.
I'm spiritually connected to Homer Simpson.
Yeah, exactly right. Right. Look, people actually are. There's people who have actually been like that with certain, especially like cartoons and stuff. Like that teacher
I
at
think-
our school, who she had tattoos of SpongeBob and shit all down her arm. And I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
actually like connected to a piece of art, then like that's where the line starts for me. Like where it's okay, it's like
yeah.
justified to get a tattoo.
yeah,
I think it.
I
I
agree with
honestly
that a
think
bit.
it's just me, but I'm not that big a fan of getting someone else's art put on your body.
no, and look,
Yeah.
that's what
Because
that's
it's
what
like-
that's
That's why I think
It's
if
like-
it's an inspiration for you, it might be a little better. Or if it has affected your life directly.
I mean, I suppose, but
maybe.
also like, can't you sort of fill the gap with that inspiration, like, of something of your own?
Yeah, I like original tattoos.
yes.
I like
100%.
artists who will sit down with you and talk about it for a while
100%, dude.
before they tattoo
something
you.
that's come up.
But
for the
I
person or
can't,
for
I
the
can't
moment, that's
actually I
what
can't
like.
understand someone being inspired by a certain character, like if you were to get like a Superman tattoo because of what the character represents, and if you genuinely like grew up reading the character or you identify with him, then like I can sort of understand it because
Yeah, exactly.
you do identify with it.
Yeah, that would make
I don't
sense.
know,
That
I
would,
think
no,
it's
that
just-
would be no. What you're saying is that'd actually be a warranted thing.
But
Sure.
but at the same time, it's just like
Warranted. Well,
I'm
what
gonna
are
get
we
Mr.
like
Burns tattooed on my forearm because I think it's funny. It's like, okay, dick. Like,
I don't even know if there was meaning though. Like maybe there was. I don't know. But they were just
I mean,
out with friends and they just
I
decided
doubt
to get
it.
a tattoo.
I doubt it
No, that's-
because
I
who
mean,
could
that's-
who
hey,
could identify with Mr.
We don't know.
Burns?
It could actually be quite a meaningful thing to them, and
That's a good point. What I just said.
what.
They were out with friends and they decided to get a tattoo. Maybe it's symbolic of their time together.
Yeah. Hey.
Maybe that wraps it up. Even then, like.
But then you could have
that way
done
could work too.
something that makes someone look at it and then they think like they can get the meaning from that. Then looking at Mr. Burns, going, "What's the Mr. Burns mean?" Then you go, "It means I used to like spending time with my friends." Like, what about Mr. Burns tells me that? Like, why not like you could put a little bit of thought into it. Like, it's like a pocket watch, but it's like it's one of those open pocket watches, and it's like a drawing of
Yeah.
like their best friend's face in one of them, and the other one it's like the watch face.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you are worth my time.
It'd be so cool if in the
That was off the
future-
top of my head, but it still
Yeah.
works. Instead of, I like Mr. Burns. Like,
I think it'd be cool in the future when we come up with a solution to that sort of stuff, like
What?
to permanent tattoos.
What?
Like, so you can have like a tattoo that you can remove,
Yeah.
and it's like a cosmetic sort of thing. Like maybe it's a sleeve, but it looks exactly like your hand, and just like
Wow.
I don't know.
That would be some
I don't know. I reckon that'd be cool. But
maybe. Yeah.
temporary tats, but
I think it'd
they're
be
like-
cool if to get a tattoo, but then you could peel it off like a sticker later.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think that's only gonna go. That's only gonna be. That's definitely gonna happen one day. Something like that. Because I mean, we're getting so much better with like materials and
You're
mixtures.
gonna have to
and-
change the way you do tattoos, though. 'Cause I think the way we do tattoos now, it's sort of like,
Like the pen and everything will need to probably
The gun.
change.
like
Yeah.
it actually like
Well, don't call
pushes
it a gun.
ink. It pushes
Yeah,
like
they-
actual just
call it
ink.
No, it's a gun. It's a
No. Like if you
It's more of a needle, isn't it?
no. They call it.
people
it's
call
a
it
tattoo
a
gun.
tattoo machine.
No, yeah.
Because if you
It's
call
like
it
a
a
needle,
gun,
it's
it's like
guns.
But it's more of a needle. It's like injecting ink into your skin.
Yeah, it's just
like-
basically just like a
It's
needle's
fairly
on a-
shallow, but it's deep enough that you can't just like scratch it off or whatever.
like
Oh,
if
no,
the
it
first
puts,
thing
it puts it in kind of. It puts it in a couple mils
Yeah.
into your skin. Like,
in
Yeah, so it,
countries
like,
where
injects
like
ink
guns
into
are
your skin.
legal and stuff, the first thing you do, like if you walk into a tattoo parlor and you're like, oh, I want, oh, like they're like, oh, what's this? And you're like, oh, a tattoo gun. It's like, no, it's a tattoo machine. Don't call it a gun.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
they're-
I haven't
yeah,
heard that, so
people,
that's why I
people are
say.
sensitive to that
Yeah. Wow. Is that just because?
just because they don't want it to be.
behind the word gun? Is that
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is?
the stigma behind the word gun, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
You don't.
We can't even say
It makes
tattoo
tattoo.
gun.
No, it
That's
makes
interesting.
tattoos seem like
What's
worse
happening?
though. In if you say to some fucking pom, oh, I'm gonna go get a tattoo with a tattoo gun, it's like, oh, tattoo, a gun, like
That's interesting because then that only makes me think: should there be a negative stigma towards tattoos?
No.
there shouldn't be, but
Definitely
there
not. It's
is.
just bloody.
My grandma doesn't want me having a tattoo. She won't know
It's
that.
just old.
What's the
values.
reason behind it though? Because if there's a reason for it,
values.
it's typically a pretty good reason for
The
it.
devil. You're,
No,
you're,
no, it's, as I said, it's
I don't
old. It's
think- I
old.
don't think
It's
that's the
old
reason at
values
all.
and beliefs. That's what it is. That's all it is.
I actually want to know where it
Dated
directs
stuff.
from though.
Hey?
I want to know where it directs from though.
I
Like,
think
is
that's
it
I think that's a
religious
that's
or-
a
Yeah, of
very
course it's
lazy
very-
way of trying to explain away entire generations worth of reasoning for why you shouldn't get a tattoo.
It's
I think maybe you're just a lazy ass fucking millennial. Maybe you should fuck off with your tattoos.
fuck you.
Maybe there's an actual point on why you shouldn't get tattoos at all.
maybe.
Unless like, you served in the military or something.
So I figured
Like
for the last
there's a reason for it. That's it.
yeah.
Keep going.
For the last
Yes.
13 minutes, I think we should just fucking bash it out. What's your beast mode culture?
Beast mode culture.
I'm bringing it up. What's your fucking beast
Fuck.
mode?
Love this
What the
topic.
fuck?
We have to bring this up every time we have a new
You can
guest.
explain it what that is.
Okay.
We have to bring this up every time we get a guest because my answer might change every single week.
Yeah. So there's like a beast mode sort of thing.
If you were to transform into any beast as like your final form or your alternate form, what would you transform into?
Oh my god. Fuck.
Mine would.
hard
I reckon
question.
mine would be like a cyborg, like
Full
cave
stop.
bear.
Caveman.
Cyborg cave bear.
Oh,
Cave-
cave bear.
But
Cyborg
it's like
cave
half
bear.
robot.
I'm just
It's
a
like-
troglodyte, but I'm fucking. I got like
Because it's like a cave bear, but it's like half cyborg, so it's more powerful.
interesting.
Jesus Christ.
Can
I
it
don't
be
know,
fictional
man.
characters?
Wait, I think we should maybe help. You should help. Okay,
Help?
Help me. Like, if you want me to answer that question, help me figure out what I would be then.
What's an animal you identify with?
What do you fucking? I don't know. I
Well,
don't,
when I
don't
th-
really
when I
look at
think of
myself
an-
that much, so I'd sort of.
When
it's
you-
sort of hard to.
When I think of an animal, I go off like what I identify with. So like typical attributes are like, well, I guess behavior, temperament, size, the way I react to things,
you better
the
choose
way
a
I
beast
actually
mode.
look like.
You better choose a beast mode that is artistically
Well,
integral
what do you
to
guys think?
you.
What do you guys think about me? Okay, well, you can help me create one then.
What
like-
you are.
Yeah.
I think he's like a cross between
Yeah.
like a
see,
sloth and a monkey,
Really?
can't-
like a hybrid.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I can see that.
It's like you just.
But a hyperactive monkey.
It's like you can go off
Like
chops
you-
like a monkey, but you're lazy as fuck, like a sloth.
That's exactly it.
What?
So you're like
I
your
feel like I
beast
should
mode
be
is like a
offended at this.
sloth monkey.
Well, I mean, I think about me, and I'm more of a. I'm like an owl, possum, bear, like a bird, possum, bear.
I'm like a fucking
Like I'm a
hippopotamus kind
Like I'm a bird because I look like a bird. I'm a possum because I'm nocturnal and I barely sleep and I look tired all the time. But I'm also a bear because I'm big and I'm really good at climbing trees.
I'm a bit like a chicken because I'm
It's
like
like my
5 to
answer.
9.
So what?
I'm a chicken, so I'm like 5 to 9.
Fuck you. You don't open till 10 in the morning.
No, I open at 5 in the morning and end at 9 at night.
It's a big fucking day.
Well,
Working
I go to bed at around 9 and
afternoon.
wake up at 5.
No, fuck. Actually, fuck that though.
It's not bad. Actually, waking up at 5 has changed
Oh,
my
no, I'm thinking
No, it's really good.
me
if you're going to be
mentally.
up for that time, that's not too bad.
Me mentally, it's like it really does change your life, I reckon.
So you reckon you're better mentally?
Oh yeah. I'm more motivated and shit like that.
I
You know,
get that
actually,
absolutely.
The
'Cause-
most
because since
successful people wake up at 5. Do you know that?
more of the day,
If you wake up at 5, you're more productive
which is interesting because I go to bed a little after 5.
in the morning.
At least days that I'm working.
Fuck is that?
Like I can notice the difference between me now, like, than when I was at my old job, which was like about 6 hours back, like early. No, I agree. So I think for a while when I was actually getting up in the morning, like I'd get up every day at like 8 o'clock at the latest.
Yeah.
I think that's when I was like best, like mentally and physically. Like I actually had like a routine down because I could actually get up and I go breakfast, ready for the day, go do stuff, work, come home, chill out, sleep, start the next day.
If you can round up all the advice that I've heard from, I don't know, influential and smart people, the one thing that would have to be said the most is go to bed earlier, wake up earlier.
Yeah.
Like that
Exactly.
is-
Yeah,
I've
go the
heard-
fuck to bed,
Yeah,
basically.
go to bed, wake up early, do
Yeah.
stuff, be productive with your mornings. Mornings,
I think
I
the
see.
big ones is be productive with your time.
With
You'll
your
be
time.
surprised how much time you just waste.
oh yeah, of course.
Like I waste most of my time. I waste almost all of my time.
Yeah,
You need a hobby on the side.
yeah, dude.
I think I do.
Yeah.
I
Because
just
you
need-
know how like he plays guitar and shit.
And
Or
ride
just,
bikes
like,
and-
even
and I
if
go
it's-
gym,
or just
and-
more hours at work.
Yeah, work's good though. Like it is, you know, it's productive. You don't
Like,
want to spend
work-
too much
work
time there,
ethic's
but
good
at
for
the same
you.
time, it's good.
Even drawing. Something artistic, I guess.
I was actually getting into writing for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to do some sort of form
Like I was
of
just
art or
writing
sport.
like I'll just sit down and write like 3 pages. I just sit down and just write things that came to my mind. I'd just
Yeah.
write like 3 or 4 pages, and I'd either get sick of writing, I'd run out of things to say, or my handwriting would start to go to shit, so I'd close the book, throw it away.
Well, it's just like our pitch idea, you know? Like that could be like something you could do.
Just writing.
Yeah, we can bring the pitch back. Definitely.
I do have shitloads of ideas for movies.
Do you want to talk about Beyond Team?
Beyond Team.
Hey,
Not right
come-
now. I could talk about a different movie. I have different ideas for movies.
All right.
Can
Well,
it be a movie that I don't
actually,
see?
it'll
'Cause I
probably
don't
have to
know
be
a lot of
next
movies that you
episode
guys
because
know.
we're hitting
Wait,
the
what?
hour mark. Well, let's end this episode here.
So is it? Hang on, has it been an hour?
Yeah, it's been an hour.
Oh,
We
that's
might
cool.
do a 4.5 or a
I definitely think we could just do one long episode this week.
I can't upload that.
No, I mean like one episode into 2 parts.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course. So yeah, we're gonna end this here. This is like
We're gonna
the
have a
main
break.
topic arc here gone because we ran through them all.
I think this has been too bad. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Check out
quick break.
4.5 if you want like the after show, I guess.
I think 4.5 is just the pitch whenever we get around to doing it.
Yeah,
4.5 is
Or like background
something.
talk to the show,
Yeah.
really. But yeah,
so we'll be back to do that in just a second.
yeah. But if you're just staying for the episode, this one. Thanks for listening.
Come
Yeah.
for the next one though. The next one's probably gonna be better because we're talking about movies and stuff.
Do you have any final words, Zach? Any I don't even know.
Yeah, is there anything you want to plug? Is there anything you're doing?
Yeah, anything you want to plug?
Go the fuck to bed.
Go to bed.
That's all I want to say.
That's not a bad bit of advice. Good job. Excellent advice.
All right, guys.
All
We'll
right, so-
catch you.
Bye, all.